Good morning, students. Now in this class we revise the thermometry and expansion of solids. So as you know, thermometry means measurement of temperature. Temperature is the property of the body by virtue of which we can say is the property or a quantity by virtue of which we can say the two bodies are said to be in thermal equilibrium. Okay. So as you know, a hot body temperature also describes the direction of flow of heat. That means a body at high heat always flows from a body at high temperature to body at low temperature. So in that way also we can define temperature is the physical quantity which describes the flow of heat. But in a precise way we can say temperature is the physical quantity that describes the thermal equilibrium of two bodies, whether the two systems are two bodies are in thermal equilibrium or not. Okay, so the measurement of temperature is done by thermometers. Usually our thermometers, mercury thermometers. In mercury thermometers, we have basically two types of thermometers, Celsius grade or centigrade thermometer or Fahrenheit. As you know, the relation between them is C by 100 is equal to F minus 32 by 180, as you know this formula. So this is to convert from centigrade to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to centigrade. Okay. Now for any arbitrary scale, the temperature can be converted into out of these two scales by this relation. S is the reading of the temperature in that particular arbitrary scale. Then S minus LFP by UFP minus LFP. That means the reading, S is the reading in that particular temperature, reading in an arbitrary scale of temperature, where LFP is the lower fixed point, that is the melting ice, temperature of melting ice, we take, and upper fixed point steam, dry steam or boiling water, we take it as upper and lower fixed point. So for any arbitrary scale we can measure the temperature using this relation, where S is the temperature in that particular scale, S minus LFP by UFP minus LFP. So where LFP and UFP are lower fixed point and upper fixed point, that is melting ice and boiling water. So with this we can measure the temperatures. Okay, you remember this one. Now expansion of solids. So every solid body when heated, it expands. It expands means its length increases, area increases and volume increases. So that in that way we say expansion. So we define, if we take a wire or a bar of metal, when it is heated, its length increases. When we consider a two-dimensional body like sheets, metal sheets, in that case as well length as well as area of the particular sheet increases. That means sides increases as well as area increases. When we consider a solid body in its cube or like that, where its length, area and volume, all of the three increases. Okay. So we define linear coefficient, that means linear coefficient of temperature, alpha as L2 minus L1 by L1 delta T. So remember this formula. So increase in length is equal to L1 alpha delta T. So where alpha is the linear coefficient, that means increase in length per unit length per 1 degree rise in temperature. Okay. Similarly, areal or superficial coefficient, beta is equal to area A2 minus change in area by initial area into change in temperature. In this case also A2 minus A1 we define as A1 beta delta T. Similarly, volume coefficient or cubical coefficient, coefficient of volume expansion. Gamma is equal to change in volume by initial volume into change in temperature. In this case also change in volume is equal to gamma V1 delta T. So you remember this formula. So as you know all these formula, okay. And if for an isotropic material, for an isotropic solid, alpha, beta and gamma are related by alpha is to beta is to gamma is equal to 1 is to 2 is to 3. This is for isotropic solids. For anisotropic solids, if alpha x, alpha y, alpha z are the three linear coefficients along three perpendicular directions, x, y, z directions, then in that case we can write beta can be written as alpha x plus alpha y, or beta alpha y by alpha z, alpha z plus alpha x, whatever it is in that particular direction we take that, where gamma can be written as alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. Okay, for these relations for anisotropic solids, and for an isotropic solid they are related by this equation, alpha, beta, gamma are equal to 1 is to 2 is to 3. And next one, regarding pendulum clocks. So the pendulum clocks, the time period of a pendulum clock depends upon the length of the clock pendulum, so that if it is made with a material of which is steel or any material, when that particular material expands during summer and contracts during winter. So there is a loss or gain of time during these periods. So the time period per second, that means the time period lost or gained by a particular pendulum clock due to variation of temperature is given by half alpha delta t, where delta t is the change in temperature and alpha is the linear coefficient of expansion of the material of the pendulum. So this is for loss or gain of time. So loss or gain of time per 1 day is given by half alpha delta t 86400. This is only loss or gain of time only, whereas this is the loss or gain of time per day. This is per day. Okay, you remember this. And another thing you have to remember is okay, and next another one is thermal stress. Actually this is related to both elasticity and this one. Actually Young's modulus of material is given by FL by AE. Here E is the extension, that means F by A into L by, suppose if you consider initial length as L1, change in length is L2 minus L1. Okay, we can write like this. So this is equal to Y. Now this thermal stress means this one, this force per unit area is called thermal stress. But as per our relation, L2 minus L1 by L1 equal to alpha delta T. So now we can substitute here it is. So F by A into 1 by alpha delta T. So this is replaced by this term. Okay, now this thermal stress F by A is given by Y alpha delta T. So you also remember this one. So this is the relation to elastic nature and thermal expansion. So this is called thermal stress. So thermal stress is given by Y alpha delta T. You remember this. If you are asked to find the force, then it is multiplied by area, so that we will get the thermal force. And bimetallic strip. Regarding bimetallic strip is a strip of two different materials having different linear coefficients riveted together so that they will expand or on cooling, they will unequal expansions, they will bend in a convex or concave positions. Okay. So, the radius of that particular radius of curvature of that bimetallic strip is given by R is equal to T divided by delta alpha into delta T, where delta alpha is the change in the linear expansions and delta T is the change in temperature. So, if you take T, so take it as D. D is the thickness of each of the strip or half of the total bimetallic strip. Okay, so you remember this formula also. Now we solve some problems on these ones. Okay. You see this problem, 11th page number 11, actually this is volume 4, page number 11, problem number 83. The upper and lower fixed points of a thermometer are separated by 180 millimeter. What is the temperature in Celsius if the length of the mercury thread is 90 millimeter above the lower fixed point? Okay. So, a particular thermometer is given such that the lower fixed point and upper fixed point are separated by 180 millimeter. That means the difference between lower fixed point and upper fixed point is 180 millimeter. Okay, that is given. Now, what is the temperature in centigrade if the length of the mercury thread is 90 millimeter above the fixed point, above the lower fixed point? That means this is the difference between lower fixed point and upper fixed point, but the reading, that means present position of the thread, position of mercury minus lower fixed point is 90 millimeter. Okay, that means we can say this taken as S, reading of S. So, reading on the thermometer is S. So, this is given as 90 millimeter. So, in any scale to convert, we have S minus lower fixed point by upper fixed point minus lower fixed point. This is given as, we have to calculate in centigrade, that is C by 100. Now, this difference is 90, this difference is 180. So, 90 millimeter by 180 millimeter is equal to C by 100. So, cancel out this. This is 1 by 2 is equal to C by 100. So, C equal to 50 degree. That means if the mercury thread is 90 millimeter above the lower fixed point, that particular temperature is equal to 50 degree centigrade. So, the temperature of this particular scale in centigrade is 50 degree centigrade. Okay, next one. '87. A faulty thermometer reads 5 degree in melting ice and 99 degree in dry steam. Okay, find the correct temperature in Fahrenheit scale if this particular faulty thermometer reads 52 degrees centigrade. Okay, here the faulty thermometer reads 5 degree in melting ice and 99 degree in dry steam. That means for this particular faulty thermometer, lower fixed point is LFP is 5 degree centigrade and UFP is, what is it, 99 degree centigrade. Now it is given. Now this particular scale reads 52 degree centigrade. Then what is the correct temperature in Fahrenheit scale? Now we have to find. Now from our point, this is the reading S. Okay. So we have S minus L by U minus L, that equal to F minus 32 by 180. This is for Fahrenheit scale. Okay. Now substituting here 52 minus lower fixed point is 5 divided by upper fixed point and lower fixed point are separated by 99 minus 5, 94. This equal to F minus 32 by 180. Now this is 40, what happens is 47 by 94 is equal to F minus 32 by 180. So it is 1 twice 90 implies 90 is equal to F minus 32. So the Fahrenheit scale reads 90 plus 32, that is 122. So the temperature is 122 degree F. Now 88. On a certain scale of temperature X, the ice point is 40 and steam point is 160. On another scale of temperature Y, the ice point is minus 20 and the steam point is 100. Convert 50 degree in X into the Y scale. Okay. So here in a scale of temperature X, the ice point is 40, steam point is 160. So for scale X, LFP is 40, UFP is 160. Okay, this is for one scale. Now for a scale Y, ice point is LFF is minus 20, UPF upper fixed point is 100. Now convert the 50 degree centigrade, 50 degree in the scale X to the Y scale. Okay. Now if the temperature as shown by this scale X is 50 degree, then what is the corresponding reading in the scale Y? So as you know this formula, so for any scale, for any conversion, we have to use the same formula. Given reading minus LFP lower fixed point by upper fixed point minus lower fixed point. So from this formula we can directly write X minus 40 for this scale, X minus 40 by 160 minus 40 is equal to Y minus 20 by 100 minus 20. This is the reading. So here we have x minus 40 by 120 is equal to y plus 20 by 120. So cancel out this. Now this is the relation between conversion. So x minus 40 equal to y plus 20. Now we have to calculate y. So given x in this particular scale is 50. So 50 minus 40 equal to y plus 20. So it's 10 is equal to y plus 20. So y reads minus 10. Okay. Sorry, 87 and 88 were page 12. Next. Okay. Now here is a condition. The coefficient of linear expansion of a brass and steel are alpha and beta, alpha 1 and alpha 2. If we take a brass rod of length L1 and a steel rod of length L2 at 0 degree centigrade, their difference is L2 minus L1 will remain same at all the temperatures if we have to find the condition for that. That means two wires or two rods of different materials. Different materials means they possess different linear coefficients. So two different coefficients have a particular difference at a particular temperature, they have a difference in their lengths. Now to maintain the length difference same at any temperature, what is the condition? Okay. Now assume that L1 is L2. These are the initial lengths at 0 degree centigrade. This is given as L1 and L2 are the lengths at 0 degree centigrade. Now this has to be remain at any temperature. So assume that L2 dash, okay, L1 dash or L1 dash is the length at temperature T in any temperature, and L2 dash is a particular temperature after at a temperature T. Now from this we can write L1 dash is equal to L1 into L1 minus L1 dash minus L1 equal to L1 into alpha 1 into delta T. Similarly for L2 we can write L2 dash minus L2 equal to L2 into alpha 2 delta T. So to maintain the same temperature at any temperature, this difference is same. Oh sorry. 1 minute. Sorry, L1 dash equal to, you can write L1 into 1 plus alpha 1 delta T. Here L2 dash equal to L2 into 1 plus alpha 2 delta T. So the difference in their lengths means L2 dash minus L1 dash equal to L2 minus L1, sir, we can write like this, L2 1 to 1, L2 plus L2 1 minute. Okay. 1 minute. L1 dash minus L1 equal to L1 alpha 1 delta t. Here L2 dash minus L2 equal to L2 alpha 2 delta t. Okay, 1 minute. Now this is the difference of length in first wire and this is the difference in length in second wire. But that difference is same because whatever the change occurs in L1, the same amount of change occurs in L2 also. That means these two are same. So we can write directly L1 alpha 1 delta t equal to L2 alpha 2 delta t. That means L1 alpha 1 equal to L2 alpha 2. So this is the condition such that the difference in lengths remains constant at any temperature. Now page number 13, problem number 96. The coefficient of linear expansion of a metal is 1 into 10 to the power 5 minus 5 per degree centigrade. The percentage increase in area of the square plate of that metal when it is heated through 100 degrees centigrade. Okay. The coefficient of linear expansion of a metal is 1 into 10 to the power minus 5 per degree centigrade, and the percentage increase in area of the square plate when it is heated through 100 degrees centigrade. So delta T is 100 degrees centigrade given. So you have to calculate the percentage change in area. So percentage change in area means change in area by initial area into 100. This is the percentage change. But actually A2 minus A1 by A1 we can write it as beta delta T into 100. So this is the percentage change in its area. But here we have get alpha, so you can substitute 2 alpha, beta place in place of beta we substitute 2 alpha into 100. So 2 into 10 to the power minus 5 into 100 into 100. That is 2 into 10 power minus 1, that is 0.2%. Next, 98. An iron bar whose cross-sectional area is 4 centimeters square is heated from 0 to 100 degrees centigrade. The force required to prevent the expansion of the rod is, okay, an iron bar whose cross-sectional area is 4 centimeters square is heated from 0 to 100. So delta T is 100. So the force required, you are asked to find the force required to stop the expansion. That means force required to stop the expansion means thermal force required to stop the expansion. So already we have know F equal to Y equal to F. So 1 minute. Given Y for iron is 2 into 10 to the power 12 dyne per centimeter and alpha is 12 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. So with this we can calculate. So Y is equal to F by A into L by E. So 1 by L by E can be written as F by A into 1 by alpha delta T. So Y equal to, from this you have to calculate F. So F equal to Ya alpha delta T. So that is 2 10 to the power minus 12. So area of cross section is 4. Alpha is 12 10 to the power here it is plus 12 minus 6 into change in temperature 100. That is 10 to the power 6 8 12 8 into 12 10 to the power 8. 8 into 12 is 96 10 to the power 8 dyne. So in the options it is given 9.67. Next one, page number 13, 105. The length of each rail is 10 meter. The coefficient of linear expansion of steel is 12 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. And the range of variation of temperature at a given place is 15 degrees centigrade. The gap to be left between the rails. So, a gap is left between two rails to allow the expansion during summer. So, what is the gap to be left between two rails from this given data? So, to calculate the gap means expansion. Okay. So, initial length of the rail L1 is 10 meter and the alpha of steel is 12 into 10 to the power minus 5 per degree centigrade, that is given. And the variation of temperature in that particular area is 15 degrees centigrade. So, gap is to be left. That means you have to calculate L2 minus L1. So, that is the gap to be left. Okay. So, L2 minus L1 equal to L1 alpha delta T. So, simple one. So, that is 10, 12, 10 power minus 5. Minus 6. Into change in temperature 15. So, this is 12 into 5, 10 power minus 5, that is 60, 60 into 10 to the power minus 5, that is 6 into 10 to the power minus 4. That is 0.6 into 10 to the power minus 3. Oh, sorry, this is 1215. Answer into so this is 15 alpha delta 1, okay. 10 to the power minus 5, 12 into 15. 12 into 15 is 120. 180, isn't it? Okay, 180 into 10 to the power minus 5. That is 18 into 10 to the power minus 4. That is, okay, answer is given in meters. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Next, 106. two metal rods. Two metal rods have coefficients of linear expansions 1.1 into 10 to the power minus 5 per degree centigrade and 1.65 into 10 to the power minus 5 degree centigrade respectively. The difference in length is 10 centimeter at all temperatures. Their initial lengths must be respectively. Okay. So, given two different materials having coefficients of linear expansions 1.1 and 1.65 10 to the power minus 5. So, the difference in their lengths is 10 centimeter at all temperatures. So, their initial lengths must be. So, given alpha 1 is 1.1 into 10 to the power minus 5, alpha 2 is equal to 1.65 into 10 to the power minus 5. So, per degree centigrade. So, these are given. So, their difference in length L2 minus L1 is 10 centimeter at any temperature. At all the temperatures, the difference is same. So, we know that the initial lengths to have same difference in length at all the temperatures, then their initial lengths and their coefficients of linear expansions are related as L1 alpha 1 equal to L2 alpha 2. So, this is the condition that for two different rods to have same difference in length at all temperatures. So, from this we can have L1 by L2 is equal to alpha 2 by alpha 1. Okay. So, assume that from this one alpha 2 by alpha 1. So, 1.65 into 10 power minus 5 by 1.1 into 10 to the power minus 5. So, cancel out this and this is 1.5. So, 1.5 means 3 by 2. So, L1 by L2 is 3 by 2. So, the difference at any temperature is 10 only. So, from this L1 is equal to 3L2 by 2. Now, substituting in this equation L2 minus L1 is 10. So, this 3L2 by 2 minus L1, sorry. L1 by L2 is alpha 2 by alpha 1. So, 1.5 that is 3 by 2. So, L1 equal to 3L2 by 2. So, L2 equal to L2 minus 3L2 by 2 is equal to 10. So, 2L2 minus L2, 1 minute. Okay, L1 minus L2 we have to take like this, because the linear coefficient of L2 is more compared to L1. Okay, anyway, you can take like this, L1 minus L2 equal to 10, and from this relation L1 by L2 is 3 by 2. So, implies L1 is greater, okay. L1 equal to 3L2 by 2. Now, substituting here, L1, okay, 3L2 by 2 minus L2 equal to 10. That is L2 by 2 equal to 10, L2 is equal to 20. If L2 is 20, then L2 is 2, ratio means L1 is 30. Now 107. A clock keeps correct time at 30 degrees centigrade, has a pendulum rod made of brass. The number of seconds it gain or loss per second when the temperature falls to 10 degrees centigrade. Okay. A clock correct time at 30 degrees centigrade, and the number of seconds it lasts when the temperature falls by 10 degrees centigrade. So initial temperature is 30, final temperature is 10. So delta T is 30 minus 10, that is 20 degrees centigrade. And given alpha as alpha of the material is 18 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. So the number of seconds it will gain or loss is half alpha delta T, that is half 18 10 power minus 6 into this 20. 18 into 10 to the power minus 5 seconds. Okay. The radius of metal sphere is 100 centimeter at 0 degree centigrade and 101 centimeter at 100 degree centigrade. Then the coefficient of volume expansion of the metal is. So here the radius, initial radius is 100 centimeter and the final radius is 101 centimeter. Then the coefficient of volume expansion, and this is at 0 degree centigrade and this is at 100 degree centigrade. So you have to calculate the coefficient of volume expansion. So but we can directly calculate alpha equal to this difference R2 minus R1 by R1 into delta T, that is 101 minus 100 by 100 into delta T is 100, that is 1 by 10 to the power 4. 10 to the power 4 means this is 10 to the power minus 4. Now the gamma is equal to 3 alpha, so that is 3 into 10 to the power minus 4 per degree centigrade. One 2 metal rods A and B having their initial lengths in the ratio 2:3, coefficients of linear expansions in the ratio 3:4. When they are heated through the same temperature difference, the ratio of their linear expansions is. Okay, 2 metal rods A and B having their initial lengths in the ratio 2:3. Given their initial lengths L1 by L2 or LA by LB as 2/3 and the coefficients of linear expansions in the ratio 3:4. That means alpha A by alpha B is 3/4. This is given. Now you have to calculate when they are heated through same temperature difference. So delta T is same. Then the ratio of the linear expansions. Linear expansions means LA2 minus LA1. This is the linear expansion of the first one, and the linear expansion of the second one is LB2 minus LB1. So you have to calculate, and this is equal to LA1 alpha A delta T, and this is LB1 alpha b delta t. So what alpha LA1, L2, LAB1 are 2 by 3. So that is 2 by 3, 3 by 4 into delta t is same. So this is 2 by 4, that is 1:2. Okay, now next one. Uh, 121 and 120. A steel bridge in a town is 200 meter long. The minimum temperature in winter in the town is 10 degrees centigrade and the maximum temperature in summer is 40 degrees centigrade. So the change in length of the bridge from winter to summer, this is the same one. So which one it is? 120. So initial length of the bridge is 200 meter and initial temperature is 10 degrees centigrade and final temperature is 40 degrees centigrade, and the linear coefficient of that particular material of the bridge is 11 into 10 power minus 6 per degree centigrade. So you have to calculate the change in length during summer to winter. That means you have to calculate L2 minus L1, that is L1 alpha delta T. So you have to calculate this one, that is equal to 200 meter 11 into 10 power minus 6 into change in temperature is 30. 1, 2, 3. So 2, 11, 3, 10 power minus 3. That is 66 into 10 power minus 3. That is 0.066. Okay, 6.66 meter. Or we can say this is as 6.6 centimeter. Next, 121. A clock with iron pendulum keeps correct time at 15 degrees centigrade. If the room temperature rises to 20 degrees centigrade, the error in seconds per day will be. Here you have to find per day. So for 121, the iron pendulum, correct temperature 15 degrees centigrade and temperature rises to 20 degrees centigrade. Shows correct time at 15 degrees centigrade. So the error in the correction in time at 20 degrees centigrade per day. Okay, per second you can calculate it as half alpha delta T. So per day we can calculate it as 86400. So that is half alpha is given as alpha of the material is given as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 per degree centigrade. Now substituting here 1, 2, delta T is 5 degrees centigrade into 86400. So that is half into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 6, 5 into 86400. So you can cancel out this minus 4, 0.6, that is 6 into 10 power minus 5 into 5 into 864. So this becomes 30. 30 means 3. So 3 into 864 into 10 to the power minus 4. That is 12, 1, 9, 1, 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. Approximately 2.592 So approximately it is 2.6 seconds. Now level 3, exercise 1, page number 18, problem number 137. When a rod heated from 25 degrees centigrade to 75 degrees centigrade, it expands by 1 millimeter. When a rod of same material but with 4 times the length is heated from 25 to 50 degrees centigrade, the increase in length is. Okay. When a rod is heated from 25 to 75 degrees centigrade, it expands by 1 millimeter. So, assume that the initial length of that particular wire is L, and change in temperature changes from 25 to 75. Assume that its linear coefficient is alpha. Then we can write change in length is 1 millimeter. So 1 millimeter is equal to L into 75 minus 25 into alpha. So 1 mm is equal to 50 alpha L. This is their initial. This is given. Now when the rod of same material but 4 times the initial length is heated from 25 to 50 degrees centigrade, then the change in length is. So L2 minus L1 is equal to initial length L into change in temperature into alpha. Okay, but given that the material is same, so alpha is same, change in temperature is 25 to 50. So change in temperature is 50 minus 25 into alpha, but the initial length is 4 times initial. So you have to calculate this one. So by dividing this one also you can calculate. So L2 minus L1 is equal to 4L into 25 into alpha, whereas for this is 1 millimeter, 1 by L into 50 into alpha. So change in length in this case is 2 millimeter. Okay, 143. A thin brass sheet at 10 degrees centigrade and thin steel sheet at 20 degrees centigrade have the same surface area. the common temperature at which both would have the same area. Okay, question is a thin brass sheet at 10 degrees centigrade. Brass sheet at 10 degrees centigrade, assume that area is A1. Okay, a steel wire, steel sheet at 20 degrees centigrade also has same area A1. Okay, now they are heated such that the common temperature at which both would have the same area, again same area, and given alpha for this is brass is 19 10 to the power minus 6, and for steel it is 11 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. These are given. Okay, so a brass sheet at 10 degrees has area A1, steel sheet at 20 degrees centigrade also has the same area A1. So when the final common temperature at which again both these sheets will possess same area. So now calculate A2 for this one. A2 for brass equal to initial length A1 into 1 plus beta delta T. And for this A2 is equal to A1 1 plus beta to delta T. Okay, now for this again the final at a particular temperature, assume that the common temperature is T, at which again both of these possess same area. So we can write A1 1 plus beta 1 into delta T, that is whatever it may be. So T minus, assume that T minus 10. Here it is A2 A1 into 1 plus beta 2 into 20 minus T, assume like that. Okay. Now from this A2 again equal, because at a particular temperature T both these are equal. So both these are equal means A2s are equal means again A1s are also equal. So we can directly write okay, 1 plus beta, so also 1 plus beta 1 T minus 10 equal to 1 plus beta 2 20 minus T, assume like that. So this one also gets cancelled. So from this, so actually beta is nothing but twice this alpha. So 2 alpha 1 T minus 10 equal to 2 alpha 2 20 minus T. Again 2 also gets cancelled. So we can write 19 into T minus 10 equal to 11 into 20 minus T. So 19T minus 190 equal to 220 minus 11T. So 8T is equal to 220 plus 190. What is value? 410. 410. T equal to 410 by 8. Approximately 51. Oh, sorry. 1 minute. We have to take both the temperatures T minus only. Here also we have to take. Initial temperature is T, so final temperature we have to take. So T minus 20. Okay. Now writing here 19 into alpha minus T minus 10 is equal to 11 into 20 minus 22. 19T minus 190 equal to 11T minus 220. So this is 8t is equal to minus 30. So t equal to minus 30 by, that is minus 3.75. Next, in this one only, 151. A crystal has coefficient of expansion 13 into 10 to the power minus 7 per degree centigrade in one direction and 231 into 10 to the power minus 7 per degree centigrade in every direction at right angle to it. Then the cubical coefficient of expansion is. Okay. So a crystal has a coefficient of expansion 13 into 10 to the power minus centigrade in one direction and 231 into 10 to the power minus 7 per degree centigrade in every direction. So here it is an anisotropic material, so that it has three linear coefficients in one direction. Assume that it is alpha x, that is given as 13 into 10 to the power minus 7 degree per degree centigrade. But in any direction perpendicular to this particular direction, it will possess same 231 into 10 to the power minus 7. So that means y alpha and yz, alpha y and alpha z are equal to 231 per degree centigrade. So then calculate cubical expansion. So cubical expansion equal to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z, that is 13 plus 231 plus 231 whole power 10 to the power minus 7. That is both 462 plus 13, that is 75, 475 10 power minus 7 per degree centigrade. Now in this only 157. A metallic solid sphere rotating about its diameter, an axis of rotation. If the temperature is increased by 200 degrees centigrade, the percentage increase in its moment of inertia if the coefficient of linear expansion of the metal is 10 to the power minus 5. So given alpha is 10 to the power minus 5 per degree centigrade and the temperature delta T is given as 200 degrees centigrade. So you have to calculate the percentage change in its moment of inertia. Actually moment of inertia is I proportional to mr square, you know, mass into square of the radius. Okay, so now we can write this as delta I is equal to m into 2r delta r. Okay, now dividing with this I, delta I by I means mr square. So m will get cancelled, 1 r will get cancelled. So delta I by I is equal to delta 2 delta r by r. Okay, but delta r by r, that means delta r by r is equal to r2 minus r1 by r1. Okay, that is nothing but from these two relations we can write alpha delta t. Okay, so now substituting here, that is 2 alpha delta t. Okay, calculate the percentage or simple one. Percentage means delta I by I into 100. So that equal to 2 alpha delta t into 100. That is 2 into 10 to the power minus 5 into change in temperature 200 into 100. So 200 10 to the power minus 4. That is 4 into 10 to the power minus 1. That is 0.4%. That is the change in percentage of moment of inertia.